Hey guys, welcome to part 3 and our final part of this video, the 3-part series. Today we will decorate the outside of our stove and we will make the dividers and recipe cards for the inside. I'm super excited to do that with you guys, and I think we'll start with the recipe cards. I want to start getting that done, so let me show you what I'm going to use. I'm going to be using our newest stamp set. It's this guy right here. I'm really excited about that one. And I'm also going to be using that paper pack. Let me bring it where you can see it. Homemade with love. So let's start with the stamp. So I've picked out 2 pages here, which I think are really, really cute. And I'm going to cut these down 2 1/4 by 1 3/4. The reason for this is, on the stamp set, I've made this little tab for you so that you can get the look of an actual like die cut tab without having to do any fancy work. So I'm just going to slice these down. I just chose to use 2 different papers just for time's sake. I don't really see a need to do each tab in a different cardstock or anything. Plus, I'm trying to use cardstock that I feel like my words and my stamp will show. So I'm using some lighter color cardstock. So I'm going to cut all these pieces down, and then we're going to stamp them with our little tab. Now, if you don't have this stamp set, it is not the end of the world. You can totally do this just using, like we have made tabs in the past 100 times. Just use the little fold over method and use your corner rounder, and you'll get that done. All right, let me put these into the MISTI. So I'm going to be using the little tab stamp here, but I want to show you what I have discovered. Here's something that I think will work really well when you're lining them up. Go ahead and take your cardstock and fold it in half and get yourself a center line. Only on the first one. You won't have to do this on every one. Just on the first one you do to line your stamp up. I'm going to crease that down just a little bit too. And then I'm going to open this back out and place it into my MISTI. Now when I place my stamp, I want to use that center line as the mark for where I place my stamp. And like I said, if I do it on the first one, I won't have to do it on the others. This will just help you get a much better lineup. I also need to tweak this a tiny bit. Let me find a pencil with an eraser. I don't know if you remember, but I've told you before, if you use an eraser on your stamps, they won't stick. They stick to your fingers and your fingernails, but they don't stick to these erasers. Okay, so I'm going to put that in like that and stamp it and see if I get a better image, because the first time I did it I wasn't quite centered, but I think this will make it more centered. So place this little guy back, put some VersaFine on here, and stamp away. Now see, I'm in the center. So now when I put my pieces in, they'll all be in the right spot. So that's a good way to line that up. I'll show you. Now this will go right to the center because I cut all my pieces the same size. See? Perfect. All right, I'm going to get all these stamped. While I'm stamping, I want to remind you of something. Our stamps come with free SVGs. So if you want the SVG to cut this out and you wouldn't have to even trim it by hand, you can get that. They are free. I have videos on my channel showing you how to do that. We'll link one in the description for you so you can see how to do it, and then you can use those free SVGs for this. Now, because we took the time to fold our paper in half before we stamped it, we got our tab just in half. Now, with it folded in half, this is how you can make it look like it's a die cut. You're just going to go just like this and make a little nip following that curve and a little nip following that curve, and it will look like a die cut that way. And all you did was stamp and trim. Now, again, the SVG, if you want to use that, you can, but this works perfect for me. I don't even think you'd have to do the little curve nip, but if you want to, and since I have on one, I'm going to do it on the others for continuity. So I'm going to get all my tabs done like this, and then I need to stamp what each tab is for. Let me show you another theory I just tested out, which I think works okay. Looks kind of cool. If you fold this in half, like we did to start with, and then take your 1/4 inch rounder, place this down in here and do that, it doesn't look bad. Look at that. That's even easier. Doesn't look bad at all. Looks like a nice little tab, so I think I'm going to do it that way. So there's lots of ways to use this little stamp. That's what we love. We try to make it where it's so versatile. But I hadn't even tried doing it this way and never even really thought about it. But I love how that looks. Perfect. I'm opening them back out because I'm going to stamp them. You might decide to stamp them before you fold them, and that's fine. And might have been the idea I should have done myself. But I got excited because I'm playing with a new stamp set, and I always get ahead of myself when I do that. I love using the punch. Just make sure you use the 1/4 inch side, the 1/4, and not the half. The half would cut into it. I think I might have used the half on this side. Now that I look at it, I think I might have messed up. I will look and see. No, it was the 1/4. I just might have put it in wrong. Yeah, we're back to normal now. I did something on that one. I don't know what. So now for the fun part, we're going to stamp the words on. I'm just going to make as many as I can. I'm going to start, I don't know, I'm not going to use beverages. I don't think I'm going to put beverages in here necessarily because I'm not big on that, but I do love me a casserole. So let's put the casserole one on. I know a lot of people love to do beverages, and I would call that smoothie. So if you're a smoothie maker, that'd be a perfect one for you. But I only have one smoothie recipe, but I have a lot of casserole recipes. So let's do casseroles. So these were designed to fit inside of the tab squares. So you have those little squares, and you can stamp right inside there, and that will be so cute. Look how cute it is. I love it. And while I'm here, I'm going to stamp both sides. You really don't need to, but I just thought this way, if the tab gets pulled out or turned around, I still can see what this one is on both sides. So just like that, that is casseroles, and I'm just going to stamp away. So now it's time to make our tab dividers, or the pieces to go inside here. And since this is not something Scrappin' Rabbit showed us in her tutorial, I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. So here you're going to get some measurements. So here's what I did. I put my ruler inside with the 1 inch at the bottom, like so. Then I took one of my tabs and I held it up to as far up as it can go. Because what you got to remember is your lid sits flush. Remember, it doesn't lift up, which means your tabs cannot go any higher than the side of the box. That's important to remember. So when you go to do this, put your tab at the side of the box, maybe even slightly lower, and then I just stuck my ruler down inside there, found that spot. And what I found was 5 3/4 is about the spot. So then, or not 5 3/4, 4 3/4 is about the spot. So I decided to cut my tab pieces 4 1/2 by 6 3/8. Now I know we don't like 3/8, but when I came over here, 3/8 was perfect. You could do 6 1/4 and get away with it, but I just thought 3/8 was perfect, so that's what I did. So I've got 9 tabs. I need 9 dividers, and I'll show you. These are 4 1/2 by 6 3/8, and see how perfect they fit in, and they're a little shy of the box lid. Now that means when I put my tabs on, let me show you. I went ahead and cut these. There was no sense for you to watch me do all that. When I put my tabs on, let's put a yellow one on this one since I think it'll show better. Okay. I want to sink my tabs down a bit. Okay. So I thought it would probably work well if I sunk the tab down to that top dotted line. I believe that's going to work. So what I'm going to do is just test it out. I've got my reverse tweezers. Let's hold that in place like so. Give me an extra hand. Let's sit that inside and let's just see. That just clears the top. It's perfect. So that's how I'm going to do it. And that lets you guys see how you can do it too. If you're making this box and using the same measurements, my measurements should work for you just fine. All right, let's glue this guy on. So I'm going to put glue on both sides because I want it to kind of seal in there. So glue on this side and on this side. You might not want to start with salads. I don't know. I just picked one up. I'm not real picky about what I start with, but I'm going to put this one on first. Just, ooh, my shakes are going today, y'all. Okay. Line this up. Seal it down. Just kind of line it to that zigzag or that dash line. If you're going to make a mistake, you want to make the mistake low. Do you know what I mean by that? You want to have your tab a little too short, because if you make it too high, it's going to stick out. So if we come back to our box, we can do a test, and that is perfect inside there. Okay, so I'm going to undo and do all of them the same, but I'll show you this. If you want to kind of lay them out and have them kind of come one after another, here's what you can do. You have your first one, then you'll make your last one. Okay, so let's say that my last one will be desserts. So I take this little guy and I'm going to go ahead and glue him on. Just like so. Just like I did the last one. Okay. So I'm just going to place this down and then fold this over. And I'm going to the edge with this one. I've got a little bit of wiggle room time with my glue, but not much. It's art glitter glue. It works quick, right? I'm going to go ahead and crush that down. Loving this guy. He's become like a second hand. I just love him. I use him all the time. All right, so if we do that and we lay these guys together, you now can kind of stagger them out so they'll fit. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time stressing about that. I got to be honest with you guys. They're not going to show very much in the box. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to be tucked in. And if they're similar to where they need to be, don't want to use that one. They match exactly. If they're similar to where they need to be, they'll be fine. So like if I put this one here, and I just want to peek and see That's coming in about a 1/2 inch. I'm not going to measure them perfect because that's not who I am, but that's about how I'm going to do it. So I've just kind of eyeballed that up. And then I think I'll just lay it here like so, where I want it. Glue the top side and then come back and glue the bottom. There's number 2. I'm going to keep going. All right, guys, we got all our dividers done. I'm going to place them inside and check it out. So now all our little dividers are here, and we can just flip through and see what each thing is. Isn't that cool? Love it. All right, now we need to make the cards to go in between. Now, for the recipe stamps itself, the recipe card, it's a builder. So you can do it whatever way you would like to do it, but I'll show you how I did it. This is a 4x6 piece of cardstock here. And what I did was I put the lines of the stamp. I'll show you those real quick. I took this section, which is all the lines, and I put it toward the bottom and centered, okay? Then I took this one, which is the line for where you write the name of the recipe and then your servings and time it takes to make it. I put that at the top here, dropping it down enough to leave myself space to write my recipe. And then I put recipe, the word recipe with the little, is that a colon? Semicolon, it's a colon, I think, right next to it so it can be the recipe title. And then ingredients right above the lines. Now, we did this so that you stamp the front this way, then you flip it over for directions. I felt like that gave you more space to write. So this is the front of the card and we'll directions on the back. Now, you can lay it out so many different ways, but I just wanted to show you how I did it. Now, this is pushed all the way into the far corner, so I'm really not going to need the magnets. I am going to sit it out of my way, though, and we're going to ink this up and see what we get. Okay, I'm going to send that over. It's pretty. I love this font. I'm just going to rub down like so, and then just rub across here. Remember, these are just thin lines, so you really don't have to put a lot of pressure. You just want to let it kiss, and if you want to let it kind of sit there for a second, that's a good idea, too. So let's pull this guy off and check it out. There is your recipe card. Now, I will tell you that had never been stamped before. And so if you're noticing that it's a little bit pale right here, the more I stamp it, the better it will get. Or I could stamp this again. I could ink it up one more time and do it again. But that's the front of my card. Now, we gave you these little images and things. See all these little images? If you move your ingredients word over maybe to the center and you write your ingredients like this, then you could put these little guys in the top corner for decoration and that'd be super cute. Or use them wherever you want them. There's number 1. I need a bunch of these. I'm gonna keep going. Now I want to show you what I did for the directions. On the front, I took off, or when on my Misty, I took off recipe, this stamp, and this stamp. Then I just replaced it with the word directions. So you see, I just put directions there. Super simple. I did not have to lift this or move this at all. The line stayed in the same spot. Then I'm just going to ink these up, send them over, and press it down. Now, I want to caution you about something I noticed that I did to myself in the beginning. I had an air bubble under my lines. And so beside that air bubble, it wasn't quite touching the page. So I was having to press really hard, and I was like, why am I having to do that? And it was because of an air bubble in here. I got through it, but if you do have an air bubble, you just want to be, pay attention to that. Try not to get an air bubble. Then I just use a cloth. I just rub this over like that. It's super easy. And then bring it down, and there's the back of your recipe card. Plenty of place to stamp your cutesies or do anything else. You could use pattern paper for this, whatever you want to do. All right, let's put them in the box. Now, just because of time today, I did not make a whole bunch of these. I really need more of these cards, obviously, because I only made a good handful. But this is also something you could make a bunch of and put in the back. Just put all the blank ones in the back, which is what I probably should do, but I'm just dropping them in. And then as you use them, reach to the back, pull one out, fill it out, and then put it into its slot. But I'm just sticking some of these in between these guys. This thing is going to hold a lot. I don't have nearly enough. We'll stop there. I don't have nearly enough, but I'll stick these blank ones back here in the back like so. And that is the inside with our dividers and our little recipe cards in there ready to be filled out. Let's decorate this guy. So the first thing I want to decorate is this control panel here. I'm most nervous about it. I don't think I know exactly what I want to do, but I want to just get started and see what happens. So I'm going to measure it. It feels like, look how the ruler really sinks in there well. Let's see. I like actually the shape of the ruler, and if I bring it in 1/4 of an inch here and 1/4 of an inch here, it looks as though, is that 1/4 of an inch? Let me do it this way. Yes, it is. Okay, so then I need to cut this 1.5 by 6 1/8. I know we don't like 8s, but that's what I'm going to do. 1.5 by 6 1/8. And I'm gonna cut a piece of glitter and just see if I like it. I'm just thinking it might be cute to kind of keep my little glitter theme going here. And you know what? I think I don't have to cut this at 6 1/8. I'm gonna cut another 1/8 off of this, which means if you're doing the same as I'm doing, it'd be 1.5 by 6, and that would be much easier to do. So let me cut an 1/8 off of here. Here's how I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna put this to 6 inches instead and see if that fits better. I might have had my measurement off a little bit, and it will make life easier for everyone involved. All right, so let me hold this here and then I'll flip it. Yes, much better. I think that's a cute little glitter control panel. Why do I need a glitter oven? I don't know. Okay, so now what I want to do, I don't know if I'm going to round these corners. Let's round them. Let me try it. I tell you what I will do. Let's round them with just the 1/4 inch because I don't want a very sharp corner. I don't want it to change the kind of rectangleness of this. I don't want it to kind of feel oval. So I'm just going to use the 1/4 inch. And then let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, that looks really good in there. All right, now let's design this to look like our control panel. Okay, so we have these little blings in the shop that look like this. They're Jolie's Ornaments Adhesive Gems is what they are. And I think these would be cute since I'm using kind of glitter to use as knobs. And I'm trying to decide what size. So there's 3 different sizes here. Yeah, there's big, medium, and small. I think I want the big ones, believe it or not. I think those will be really cute on there. So let's pull off what we need. I'm gonna set them over here to the side. One more big one here. Okay, make sure I got all the same size. I think I did. All right, then I want to decide what's going in the center here. I think I'm going to use a 1-inch circle punch of some of the copper just to sort of mimic a clock. Just place that here and maybe put a small little bling in the middle there, this same bling. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to put this onto my cutting mat. I'm going to use it to help me line up the center and those pieces. I'm going to pop this up on foam, but for my little knobs, let's see how good we can do. I think, let's see, I better lay the center back so I know where the center is because that will help me in the long run. All right, so where is the center? That's right, 3 is our center. So I'm gonna put this right here on the 3-inch mark. And that means I can put a knob here and here. Let's just see. If you don't like it, make sure you change it for the look you're going for. But I'm just gonna see if this will work. Can always peel them up and move them, especially if I don't stick them down real hard. I'm not going to stick that down super hard on the glitter especially. I might even need to put a little bit of adhesive on it, little glue just as a backup or as a helper. That is cute, y'all. Okay, there's that. And then this side. It's funny, I've been most nervous about the decorating part because I didn't really have a vision for it, but this is really kind of coming together. I haven't got to what I'm most excited about yet. All right, so I'm going to stick these. That one might need to go up a little tiny bit. And stick that one. And now I'm going to pop this up. Just using a little bit of foam here. And I am going to add a little glue to that. Just so it'll last a long, long time. And just center this little guy in the middle. And let's put a tiny bling in the middle. That could be overkill, but I think it'll work. All right, so let's see what it looks like on our little stove top. Our little control panel. It's not bad, y'all. It's not bad. I need to adjust these two a tiny bit. I feel like this one needs to move over a little bit. And because I'm lifting him up, I'm going to add some adhesive since I moved him. He just needed to move over a little bit here. I'm being way picky for no reason, y'all. Okay, I'm going to mount it to the stove top. I think it is cute and done. I am going to mount it. Just using some art glitter glue. Probably should use sticky tape if you're worried about the glue showing through. I don't think it'll show through on the glitter as much as it did on this kind of metal paper. I'm going to turn this where I can see what I'm doing, and you can. Let's do it upside down. That is cute. Now I'm going to wish I had a super cute stove like this. Okay, now I have to decide about the top. about the stove surface. So let me do a little work and then we'll get back together. So I've cut another glitter piece and I've done it 3 by 6 and I think that's perfect, but I'm gonna build my stove on top of it here on my work surface and then glue it down. So look what I've done here, okay? This little piece I cut to be like a griddle, you know, like the modern day ovens or stoves. And then I gave myself 2 larger eyes and 2 smaller eyes. Now I've realized lately that you guys don't call those eyes where you're from, but we do here. Those are stove eyes. So I think you guys call it elements. I don't remember. We had this conversation on a live show one time and we figured it out. But whatever you call it, that's what I'm making. So I'm gonna slide these off real quick. And I wanna do this same 1/4 inch round just to keep everything looking kind of the same. There we go. All right, so now let's build this. I think I'm gonna pop all these pieces up too. Let's flip these over. I wanna caution you another thing about this copper paper that I'm learning, this metal paper, it will scratch. So don't slide it across your work surface. Be careful with it because you don't want to scratch it. All right, let's add a little glue to all these dots just for safekeeping. Go. Now we can place all these where they go. I'm thinking it might be cute to add a little black dot to the center of these eyes. I don't know, I could be messing up here, but I think it might be just something, just so it's not just a sea of copper. Just a little something. We know that stove eyes don't have that in the middle, but it just feels so bland to me. You know, it'd be really cute, and I should have done this, was if we cut out little spiral shapes from the Cricut. That would be really cute here. Or took a little piece of, I just don't like these. I'm gonna quit doing that because they're not my favorite. If we took a piece of like a paper clip or some wire and made little coils, that would be cute on there. Okay, I'm gonna call that my stovetop. Simple, because I'm gonna be putting something a little more ornate in just a few minutes. All right, so let's glue this guy down to here. Oh, that's really cute. Really cute. Vince would love to have a griddle that size in the house. He'd be like, that's my kind of stove. All right, guys, look, it's really coming together. Isn't that cute? All right, I want to decorate inside of here, and Shannon had a brilliant idea. This is not my idea. It is Shannon's, and I'm going to give her credit for it. So I want to put a little sticker in here of a pie. Let me get that sticker. So you see this little sticker? I think it'll be cute inside of here, but I don't want it just floating. So Shannon suggested I take some shiny twine and make like a metal grate here. Isn't that smart? I'm going to try it. So I'm going to run some glue just straight along here. Doesn't have to be super straight. It'll dry matte and clear. Then let's just run our twine in here. Matter of fact, I better turn my stove straight and make sure I'm putting this on straight. I'm gonna let that catch for a second. Then I'll trim off the ends I don't need. So there's the little grate, and then my little pie is gonna live on top of that little grate, just like so. Just like that. We just thought that'd be cute, sitting on something like a little grate inside of there. I know it's not perfect, but it's just the idea. All right, the last thing I'm gonna add, and I'm super excited about, because I think they're gonna really set this thing apart, is these feet. And at first I wasn't sure, but Shannon and I brought these in and we held them up onto it and we were like, yes, look how cute this looks. It really dresses this up. So I'm gonna get my hot glue gun and turn it on, and I'm gonna glue these feet onto our stove. Okay guys, I'm excited. I almost forgot something though. I'm not done. I'm gonna put the feet on, then I'm gonna put the little handlebar here, the little pull bar, and a dish towel. I almost forgot that, so stick around, we're gonna do that too. All right, let's put these guys on. All right, so I'm gonna put hot glue here at the bottom. Something I'm noticing about these little feet, which I think are great, is there's these little holes on the bottom, and that'll let this hot glue kind of sink in and give it a grip. So if you'll just press that hot glue in and then push your stove to the corner, make sure you got it in the corner. Yeah. I'll flip this over in a second and show you what I'm talking about. This is what's going to help this to hold on really tight. Do you see how that glue comes through those holes? That's what you want. That's what those are there for. So there's one. Let's put another one on. Okay, and you guys know this because you always tell me when I'm using hot glue. If you get little streamers, you can take a hair dryer or your heat tool and just kind of hit it and they'll go away. I just usually pull them off or don't stress. I'm not a stressor about them too much. Be careful with your hot glue because this is metal. And if you're not careful, that metal can get hot. This is not. I think I'm using a lower temp. Yeah, this is a low temp gun. Okay. One more. Oh my goodness, you guys. Oh my goodness, look at that. It is so cute. Oh my goodness. It looks like those were made for it. All right, let's make our little bar and our dishcloth. Now for the couple of pieces I almost forgot. This is a 1/4 of an inch by 4-inch strip that I want to put on the door here as the handle. And then we're going to make a little dish towel. So let's get some foam for this. I think I'm going to cut these. I have some smaller ones, but these are laying right here. So let's just cut these. Plus these will be a little longer and I won't have to put as many on. So let's see how this goes. So I'm thinking I'm going to put one on the very edge of both ends. I want to make sure I don't put it in place of my dish towel. I kind of want my dish towel to be in here. So I'll come here. Oh wait, maybe I want on this side. I think I do. Do it like that. Then let's put one right here. Technically, I guess I could put my dish towel on and still do this, but let's peel this off. And again, because it's going on the glue, because it's going on the glitter, I'm going to add a little glue. So just a dot to each one should be enough. And making sure we put the gap where we want it to go. And I think I want it to go here on this side. Then I'm going to place my little guy. I may not have him just right. Oh, he is right. Good. So got my little handle there. And now let me show you how I'm going to make the dish towel. So here's my plan. I wanted to have a little fringe. I think that'll be cute to have a little fringe at the end. So what I'm going to do, this piece here, I cut it at 3.5, the white piece, and this piece is at 3. So I'm going to take these two pieces and fold them in half. Let me fold this one in, and I'm going to fold this one in, and then I'm going to glue it on top of here so that my little fringe will stick out, and we'll snip the fringe in the end. So let's put glue on this one because it's smaller. I just think this would be cute. I thought the little fringe piece would be really fresh. Fresh, what is that? I don't know, y'all. I'm enjoying this more than I thought I would. I was nervous that I would not like how it turned out, but I really am liking it. I think it's really cute. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I have found that these little snips do a really good job when you have two pieces of cardstock like this. I'm gonna come down here and take my time and do these little tiny fringes. I just think this will make this so cute if it has a little fringe detail on it. You know, not just a piece that's just kind of hanging there, like just a rectangle. It'd be really cute if you had a real piece of fabric or something like that. That'd be super cute. All right, I'm gonna cut through here and then I'll show you how we put it on. Okay, so I cut them both at one time so you can see my little fringe here. And what I'm doing is just kind of messing with it. I just want to kind of loosen it up a little bit. Just kind of to get it to kind of flare out. That's the word, flare. So get it to kind of flare out like that. And then let's slide it in. I got one little fringe doing something weird there. Slide it inside like so. You guys, come on. And now I'm gonna glue this shut. I should put foam between it. I think I will, because I don't want it to be in a strange position there. So I'm gonna put a little foam between it here. Peel that off. And then when I close it, it won't be squished. And I'm gonna leave it to where it can move a little bit instead of like gluing it into place. All right, need to put my pen in my glue. And there it is, our recipe stove, totally inspired, designed by Scrappin' Rabbit. And I have all of her information linked for you guys. She has that wonderful printable, so good. Just look how cute this is. I really do love how the rose gold turned out. I wasn't sure I would, but I like it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'm just gonna tell you something. These are your Christmas gifts. This is, start now. Make every person in your family these little Christmas gifts. They will love this. To be able to open up and get to the little recipes inside. Oh my goodness, this is great. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it. And thank you so much for participating in our secret giveaway we did at the end of part 1. We did a little secret paper giveaway. So I'm gonna put the winner of that in the description of this video. So to see that winner, just click show more. Or on your mobile device, just hit the little drop down and you'll be able to see who that winner is. I say that because I filmed this video early and so I haven't pulled the winner yet, but we'll put it in the description. How cute, I love it. All right guys, thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. And while you're over on Scrappin' Rabbit's channel, subscribe to hers too. She does really good work. I really enjoy her work. Thanks so much for being here and being part of this. Don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. And until next time, bye now.